All right. Interesting. Okay, well, this card seems to be coming up a lot. So, I don't doubt it. To me, this is the generosity card. And we are in the season of being generous, aren't we? Okay, so let's see how it's applicable towards you, because we have the Six of Pentacles. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. I'm just intuiting for a minute to see. What's interesting is the two blues are standing out. This guy cloaked in blue, and then these mountains, they have painted blue. Okay. I mean, I could easily say, oh, it's your throat chakra or your, again, communication. It may be. But these two are just really standing out. So let me go ahead and start on the reading, and then you might want to put in the comments below if that means something to you as well, or what it might mean. Okay, so this is the generosity card. Usually to me, this indicates that someone giving their money, their time, their energy to others. So Gemini, if you're doing that, you could very well receive, because you are giving, I feel like for a lot of you, some additional time, some what we would call some of your free time. And in return, it feels like there may be a newness of an opportunity, or you hear of news of financial gains and it might very well be because of your generous tidings. For instance, you're working with a nonprofit. This is a very basic. You've been working with a nonprofit, and you've given a lot of time and energy, and you're of yourself. And someone says, hey, you know what? This person is really good. You're really good, Gemini, at thinking outside of the box, of creating new projects. And you know what? We're going to offer you a paid opportunity. So that may be coming up for you, something of that nature. All right. And these are the scales of balance. It could mean Libra. Balancing yourself, balancing your checkbook, it would inevitably come up with the Pentacles, and fairness and justice, being fair and justice to all. Maybe you have been giving more of your time or working longer hours. Could very well be. Let's take a look at the first 2 weeks of January. Okay. Well, we had the Hanged Man, and I'm not reading these cards in reverse. This did come out, in reverse. Let's talk about that for a minute, though. And again, the blue's coming up for me. What is it with blue in your reading? It's here. It's on here. And now that I notice, this is blue and white striped, and I'm seeing blue here. Now, this card doesn't have much blue in it, if any at all. Some purple, kind of purple mountains, but interesting. Okay. The Hanged Man represents to me a time of reflection, of meditation. With Mercury retrograde, that would be right on the money, because it's a time of revisiting, reflecting what we've been doing right, thinking about how we can change things. And the Hanged Man, straight up, it's a self-imposed timeout. It's a self-imposed, how can I see things? How can I plan things? How can I do things 180 degrees different? And I'm just giving you a basic number, but basically, how can I see things differently? Because he is hanging upside down. 360 would be he'd be straight back up, but no, he's hanging in the balance. Balance. Feels like for a lot of you Geminis that you're looking for balance. You're looking for possibly, I don't know if structure is the right word. I think just your time with your hobbies, with your children, with your family, with your friends, with your creative aspects, your business. I think you're just working it all out here. It just feels like it's a self-imposed time out Maybe you've learned some things from the Mercury retrograde after the first of the year. He is pointing it straight up to this generosity. Maybe you're reflecting more on how your generosity has paid off, or your time, or what you've been doing additionally that's paying off for you. And I wouldn't doubt that, because then the Two of Wands comes up. And I love this card because this card speaks to me about planning a new venture. See how he's looking at, you might say that's a globe. And he has the wands, which are his work. And this is like a doorway that's opening up for him or her. You know, when I say, you know, male, female, doesn't matter. What would you love to see happen? Do you want more creativity in your job? Do you want to move? Do you want a baby? What are some of the things that you want? Do you want to start your own business? Perfect card for that. Perfect card for planning a new business. All right, let's see what I have the transition over here. The transition card. Oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, well, this is the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is, cup cards are about our emotions and love, and it has two children. And so this card represents to me childhood memories, loving childhood memories. You know, maybe too that this Hanged Man, that you're focusing on what made you happy when you were young. You know, what can I do now? This might be a question. What can I do now that I just, you know, loved to do when I was younger? You know, when we're children and even teenagers, we haven't been out in the work world. We're still very dreamlike, and, you know, what all we can achieve. And we have huge goals a lot of the times. And, we think outside of the box, and then it's sometimes we get into the, you know, the corporate world, or the, you know, we're indoctrinated, and all of a sudden we go by other people's goals. So this card comes up saying, maybe reflect on some of those memories that made you happy when you were younger. It might gear you towards a new venture, or expanding your venture in a very creative, playful, because kids are playful and creative way. What else can you do? Because there's some newness here, you guys. The Page of Pentacles. This is a young dude, right? And meaning young news. This is a new, thinking about new opportunities. All right? And then these are young kids. I'm just saying, there's some new young things happening. And I mean that in the sense of prospects. Okay, so I'm looking into my crystal, and it's picking up the colors here. So I'll hold it aside and look for Gemini, mid-December through mid-January. Wow, this is not in color, but I'm seeing like expanded wings. I think some of you are really ready to fly. You're ready for your business to fly. You're ready for things, opportunities to open up. And it feels like, too, the groundwork is there. It's not like you're in that dreamy stage any longer. I think you've set the framework for that to happen. And when I turn the crystal over, I get this beautiful, I want to say it's amber, and sometimes I do get that with this crystal. It is mixed with a whitish, so it's absolutely gorgeous. So I would say for you guys to step outside of the box, to step into your courageousness. Lots of, blue, of course. Why not? Why not? The throat chakra, communication. When I turned it over, some of it's aqua, which means peace, peacefulness, but some of it is, again, about our verbiage. Speaking, it might be speaking events. It might be that you're doing a not an online class, but a teleconference class, or you're conferencing with other people, and you're getting to use your skills in that particular way. So some of you might be setting up online classes. You might be. Yeah, here's a visual for you that's completely different than what I've been speaking of. This is a beautiful a fish. This almost reminds me of that movie. What was Ellen DeGeneres? It's the animated. She played Dory, and so, interesting. Some of this might represent a couple things. Some of you might be near an ocean and enjoying the beauty of that. Some of you might be fishing, deep sea fishing, a cruise, seeing beautiful vistas. I'm just feeling like it's very, very relaxing. Excuse me. And I saw the aqua a minute ago, but then it turned into this fish who's very beautiful. Stripes, cobalt blue, aqua, red, and purple, and some yellow. Very animated. So it might be too that your child is in a play, or you're going to see a play that's fun, or something that makes you happy. You're going to Disney World or Disneyland or one of the amusement parks. Okay? All right. So there you go. Let me go ahead and add up the cards for you, Gemini. And remember, you guys, this is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. If these messages do not resonate with you, watch your rising and moon signs, especially your rising. And if you don't know what that is, you can find it via Google. You can find anything via Google. But you do need to know the time you were born. And AM and PM is very important. Whether you're born in the morning at, say, let's just say 10:31 in the morning. Do not put 10:31 at night, because believe me, it'll come up with a completely different sign of rising or moon. It'll give you your moon and rising signs, but the time needs to be pretty specific, especially if it's morning or evening, and around 5 to 10 minutes either way of. Okay? All right, so remember to do that. These are general impressions I'm getting, but let me know in the comments below what your feeling of the cards are. So I'm getting 6, 7 for numbers. 6, 7, and 12 is 19, and 6 is 25, and 2 is 27. Well, 2 and 7 is 9, and 9 is a very old soul kind of number. Any of you all that have life paths that are 9, or you were born on the 27th, or born on the 9th, or born on the 18th, anything that adds up to 9. 9 is very generous with their time. Here we go back to the generous card. Care for other people. Care for not just your community and your friends, but you care about people in general, and you can be very empowering. You're an old soul type of person if you haven't, a 9 life path or born on the 9th. If you're born on the 9th, then you bring that essence to your work, or the 27th, and so on and so forth. Okay, so there's not a 27 in the major arcana, but there definitely is a 9. And the 9 is the what? The 9 is escaping me right now, but hold on. Hold on, you guys. The 9 is the Hermit. Interesting. And the Hermit card doesn't mean you need to be a loner, because you guys will not be. The Hermit card is about taking that time out to, he's the old wise man. If you think about the artwork on the card, he's the old wise man, has the cape on, but he's holding a lantern. He's out at night, and he's discerning his path in life. Like I said, he's wise. He can be a college professor, a teacher, a therapist. It's what this indicates, this type of essence. A priest. It's not necessarily an old person, wise person, but truth seeker. Okay? So some of you all may be doing that in this particular realm. All right? Maybe the 1st of January, you're finding your truth.